Let's go. Hopefully you are doing well. I am indeed Jono Canute. This is my live stream that I have been doing for many years at this point. Many years, wow. But it has changed names over the ages. And so here I am in the flesh. And today is a really exciting episode because I'm going to build live on camera a Peplink internet mobile service. Now, not all the final pieces are here, aka the sorry, I think the mail lady just stopped by and potentially dropped off one of the last pieces that needs to get here. I'll send one of my minions, aka kids, down to check it out here in just a second. But today's a pretty exciting day. Good morning, Angus. Hopefully you're doing well. Thanks for stopping by. Always appreciate it. And I am going to check my audio because you got to do that, man. You got to. Okay, cool. So it is working just fine. All right. So it sounds good on my end. I don't know if it sounds good on your end. So please critique. Let me know what needs to change, including the on-air talent and content. So there you go. I'm open to all criticisms. But I do get to keep the final say. So this is weird. Why is that off? Okay. Anyway, so we are going to do a live build here today, and I'm just going to take whatever time it needs. My wife and kids are home. They are done with school here in Tennessee. They kind of finished up, I guess, a week ago at this point. A week ago to, no, 2 weeks ago today, because they were home last week. I can't remember. And I do have a saga to talk about, but more on that maybe at the end of the show. It could potentially take up a lot of time. I have, however, the Angus says, "Hey, audio is present." All right. I hope that's good. This one definitely has my interest. Yes. All right. So we are doing something that at least interests one of you and me. So 2, that's the majority. We're good to go. So let's have a little look-see as to what is going on. Now, the plan here is to have a data plan associated with our cell phone provider. In this case, it's AT&T. It's my wife's account. Long story. I have a different one. She has AT&T, and potentially getting AT&T internet here. And so I'm trying to like bundle things. And when the internet finally shows up at this house and I'm able to get gig speeds, then I will also move my phone over to AT&T and just deal with the spotty coverage out here in Tennessee. But that's okay. But the reason why is because I'm trying to create a mobile internet receiver that will allow us to get our devices in the truck, which quite honestly, in our vehicles, which surprisingly is several. Like it's 4 or 5 at this point. Cell phones. The kids have switches, especially if we're on like long trips. We bring our little Nintendo games, and then laptops and GPSs, and the truck itself could be connected to the internet. And so there's a handful of devices that actually need some sort of dedicated wireless access point, and that's kind of what the point of this is. And so we're going to go through the parts list. I'm going to keep my eye on the chat real quick. Angus says all good. Thank you, sir. I'm going to keep my eye on the chat and just kind of work along through it. But today is actually a hands-on build, which I don't do too many of these. So it'll be fun to kind of hopefully not screw it up too bad. But, here we go. Today's non-sponsor, by the way, is Amber Mugs. Keep your coffee hot and your creamer curdled. And if they were a sponsor, I probably wouldn't use that that tagline. But because they're not a sponsor for me, I just I enjoy their products, and I enjoy drinking hot coffee all the way through the show. This mug will last me about an hour at 120 degrees, and so that's pretty good. That's about how long I like these shows to go, but sometimes it goes longer, and I suspect today's might be a little longer than an hour, so bear with me. However, after an hour, my coffee will still be warm. Hopefully, though, not curdled. So I have an overhead view of my table. I've been trying to like make it tidy so that we can actually have a workspace here. So let me pull that up, kind of show you what it is that we're dealing with here. So this is my desktop. This is my kind of my undermat for my well, used to be for my mouse, but I got a 3M mouse pad for my mouse. I don't know why. And so now my keyboard sits on this map, and it's kind of dirty. It's kind of gross, but it prevents the scratches from my table, which now has many over the years of actually doing this show. That's primarily one of the reasons. I had a mobile internet gig the other day, an outdoor press conference, and the client was concerned about poor LTE internet on site. As it happens, it was one block from a major carrier central building for the region. On the other competing carrier, my 5G speeds were roughly 200 down and 100 up. Wowzers. That's pretty good. Now, the one thing that I am missing here is the actual SIM card. And I know that you can get an eSIM, but when I went through the AT&T website, they said, we'll ship you a SIM. And so, okay, fine. So I don't really know where that SIM card is because, oh, you know what? I can maybe check. Is it this email? I think it's maybe this. Wait, yeah, this email. We have your order, Holly. That's my wife. View the order status. But I ordered it yesterday, and so it's probably not out in the mail yet. Check your email for next steps. It has been ordered, has not been shipped. Now, they said it would probably be here on the weekend, so, that would have been nice, but not necessarily. I wasn't holding my breath for anything. Hey, but they paid me to bring my Starlink, so I bonded LTE and Starlink through my LiveView Solo. It worked perfectly, of course. Of course it did, because LiveView is a serious product, and LiveView, as I understand it, from NAB this year, that's how the major players are doing it. And so the other alternative, the real alternative that I saw at NAB was Peplink. And I'll go through every single one of these products as we kind of go along. But this is the antenna for Peplink. The only problem with this, okay, this is the Slim 22G. I'll talk about that in a second. The only problem with this is it is clearly used. The tape on the top has already been opened and broken, and I contacted my supplier and said, hey, I paid for a new one, not for a used one. Please ship me a brand new one. And in the meantime, we'll check this one out and test it. Now, it's out for delivery. So let me pull up my orders real quick. Package is out for delivery today. Still says that it's out for delivery with USPS. I thought I just saw the USPS truck outside. So we'll go one more and check my front door to see if there is a package on the front step. So there is. So give me a second and I will bellow for my minion to go and get that real quick for me. Okay. It will arrive momentarily. So we're going to put this one away and hope that the next one is also not a pre-opened package, because I would like a new one because I paid for a new one. And call me petty. I mean, this one might work just fine, but, if you pay for a new product, you should get a new product. You should not get a used, even if it's been pre-opened. I would rather it be straight from the company and it working in good working order. So I hear the child coming up the stairs with a bag, which is, I think, what it should be in. I don't know what about a bag, but all right, one second. Alrighty, so it has arrived, and it's definitely it because there are two items in here. There are gallon-sized Ziploc bags, and the other one is the Peplink antenna. Is it new? It is new. It's sealed. Awesome sauce. All right, so here we go. Brand new Peplink. This one is the Slim 22G. Now, what does that mean? The Slim 22G on a Peplink antenna is 2 LTE antennas and 2 Wi-Fi antennas and a GPS antenna. Okay, so that's what's included in here. It is it matches really well with the router that I bought, which we will look at in a moment. But first, we're going to actually unbox this because, hey, that's why we're all here. Let me angle this camera so it looks a little more at the table, but not my pants necessarily. All right, so let's go ahead and just make a little incision. Alrighty. And then we are going to lift. This tab needs to be cracked open. Ah, yes. That is the new product seal I am looking for. So most excellent. And I'm really happy that it arrived on time. All right, so here we go. I opened it upside down. My mistake. There it is. Now, this dust is from the package. That's totally fine. I'm not worried about that. But it's not a huge antenna. And the purpose of this slim antenna is to mount it in a window of like an RV or on a boat or in a car or something like that. And so this is a good antenna if you're going to be doing mobile units and it's going to be permanently mounted inside a vehicle. Now I have two cars. I have a truck and I have an Explorer, which is like an SUV now. It's not even, they don't even make them on the truck frames. Remember the Explorers back in like the early 2000s? The classics, right? I had one. I loved it because you could work on the engine. There was all sorts of room in the engine compartment, and it was built on an actual truck frame, and so it was pretty rugged. Like you could drive it like a truck. Now they make SUVs that are on car frames, and they're more like those bubbles, you know, like the Pacifica, the Chrysler Pacifica. And they're not on truck frames. And so it's harder to work on the engines. They ride lower. They're not quite as good for going camping, for example, which is something that I do, which I used to take my Explorer to do. I would not take this Explorer that my wife drives anywhere near Northern Ontario backwoods because it wouldn't survive. Teddy's coffee is delicious. So here's that actual antenna with the GPS. And inside, they provide you with these little 3M, they're hook, what do they call them? Like, they're not Velcro, but they're like loop and hook adapters. And you just place one on either side. This side faces out, so you put that on the window. Peplink should face out. And then you attach these left and right, and then you attach these onto your window. Stick them up there and they work. It just stays. So the nice thing is there's a good chance I'm going to cut these in half because this thing weighs nothing. I'm going to cut these in half and I'm going to put them on both vehicles. I actually might just cut two of them in half and then put the long ones on here and then put the short ones on the window so that I can move it from one vehicle to another. That's the plan. If I like this antenna enough, I will buy another new one and install it on both cars. Like if I'm finding that I'm moving it back and forth a lot, I will install it on both cars. But right now, for setup and getting going purposes, no need. The cables that come with the 22G are 6 feet long. And as we discovered in previous shows, it's actually pretty important that you keep those as short as they can be because they lower the decibel ratings of your antennas. And so the longer the cables, the lower your decibels are going to be. Now, in this instance, I'm going to primarily be using this on interstates and major highways in Ontario. And so I'm not really going to have any issues with having decent reception unless we're, I don't know, in the hills of Virginia, which we actually might be in a few weeks. But part of this project is for that purpose, is we're going to be traveling a lot this summer, and I don't necessarily want them connecting to my wife's phone, mostly because it chews up her data plan, and she gets like 2 or 3 gigs, and then it throttles her down to 1.5 megs, which isn't great for multiple devices. Whereas in this instance, I get 30 gigs on the data plan, and then it throttles me down. So we should be good monthly. We should be good at 30 gigs. Kids watching their YouTube videos at even at 1080p, that should be just fine. So here is that. Now, we also talked about in the past these connectors, right? And I was going to buy some like quick adapters for them. I haven't done that yet because that's also going to run me probably 50 or 60 bucks by the time I'm done, which I think is a little high for what it is that I want to do. So, but these are specific adapters, and you guys brought up the good point that these are male. They're all technically they're all one type. However, if I go to where is it here? Is it my shopping cart? I think it's in my shopping cart. The actual name, no, shopping cart. They're specific adapters, and so these ones are the SMA adapters and then the RP SMA adapters. Now, before I went down this road and I introduced this topic to you guys, I had no idea what that was, and so thank you very much for being a part of the show and letting me know what's going on. But yes, these are SMA adapters, and some of them are RP SMA adapters, and those are different. So you need to get the right adapters if you're going to do some quick connect options on these. You definitely need to know which ones are which. Now, I didn't buy the adapters yet, but I checked out the router, and we should be in good shape there. Let's go. Whoa, hey chat, 100%. They should offer an open box discount as an option. It should never be forced on you. Hey, Jeremy, what's going on? Yes, Peplink. Yeah, here we go. I have the Max BR1. Ooh, that's a nice unit. I did look at that. I just can't afford that. Hey, they're 3M dual lock units. Okay, thank you. That's the official name of our hook and loop. 3M strips are actually the dual lock, I guess. Jeremy says hook and loop. Hey, that stuff is awesome. Ooh, come and visit me. Are you in Virginia? Anyways, we are making a road trip, so it'll be pretty fun to. If this works, I mean, I'm going to be. It's so nerdy, but I'm going to be pretty excited about it. That's a pretty mediocre data plan. Yeah, see, the thing is my wife is not a heavy data user, and so I'm like we were doing that as a okay. Found this out. When you connect CarPlay to your phone, it disables the ability to do hotspot. At least I haven't figured out how to do it. And honestly, I'm usually driving, so I haven't had the time to sit down and really hash out, is there a way to have hotspot on my phone and connect to CarPlay? From what I can tell, it's not possible. But the kids have been then watching YouTube or whatever on an iPad or on their Switches, and they want to connect to the internet. And so then it chews up her data plan, and it isn't great. And so this is kind of an answer to, look, we're going to be on the road a lot. And we're headed to Virginia, we're headed to Ohio, I'm headed to Ontario, and we're headed to, we're flying to Ontario here. I'll explain that, I hope. I'll explain that in a minute. But anyways, lots of road trips. And every week we travel at least 2 hours together as a family in the car just to go to church. So we have some time in the car, and a couple of hours on a data plan is better than a couple of hours on my phone. Hey, what do you use, Angus? And Angus is in Edmonton, so he's going to have a different carrier, right? My wife and I share about 350 gigs. Yeah, see, in Canada, it's you buy data still. It's not an unlimited plan. Here, it's an unlimited plan, but they throttle you down after a certain threshold, yeah. Yeah. Is this North Virginia? Near Manassas? I'm gonna Google that. Because that'd be cool, even just to like have lunch or whatever. It might. Now my wife and kids will be with me as well, so that might be weird just to meet up with you randomly. But yeah, we'll check it out. See where you are along the path. We definitely need to. We got to meet up at a show or something at some point, right? Because it's been too many years, my friend. Too many years. So this is the Peplink antenna. Pretty standard fare. The GPS wire is quite thin, but it is indicated by blue. And then you have your two Wi-Fi connections via yellow, and then your LTE via red. So very self-explanatory. No real complications with that. But today, this is going to be my kit for the truck. So it's the concept is it's a grab box that can be plugged into power easily and plugged into the antenna fairly quickly. That should be the time-consuming piece, is mounting the antenna and feeding it through the box. And so let's get on with it, man. So here we go. Here is everything that I need to do this project. I'll remove the drill bits. Oh, somebody shut my door. These are the grommets, the little rubber grommets that are going to go on the side to allow the LTE cables to pass through. This is the extension cord. Now my truck has like 120 built in because it's a 2015 F-150. And so they have 100-watt ports in the truck, which is plenty for this install. And this thing is the side mount power port for that plug. And so we're going to drill a hole in the back of this box back here, and then we're going to mount this to the outside. It even has like a little rubber washer here to kind of help it stay a little bit dry in the if my son drops apple juice, which he does because he's 7. And so this has like a cool little, if I'm transporting it, if I need to move it or whatever, I can cover up the power ports and keep it kind of watertight. It's like waterproof in a kayak. Okay. Waterproof compartments in a kayak are as good as we can get it, but not guaranteed. That's what we're going for here. So there's a little extension cord that will plug into my Peplink router, which is right here. So this is just a great little box. It's like $25 on Amazon here in the States. Decent brand, and it has these nice metal clips that are good and solid. It has a handle on the front. So this is going to be a great little grab box. I'm pretty excited about it. The brand is called T-Stark. If you're playing along here at along with the show here. So T-Stark is the DeWalt brand. All right. Here we go. Yeah, thank you.
How neat is that?
Did you hear that? I hope you heard that. Let's try that again, but let's do the other one.
That's pretty neat.
No. Oh, wait. Yeah, you're hearing that. So here we go. Here is the main star of the show. This is the unit that accepts the SIM card or has an eSIM already built in. And I haven't actually looked at these peripherals, so let's find out what's inside. Hopefully it's all here. Ooh, little Velcro. And here are those paddle antennas that we are not going to be using. But there they are. I might actually try these out in... I have Wi-Fi. I have other things in my house that need antennas, and maybe these ones will be better than the ones that I have. They are brand name. The other item is this little quick start guide. And I did take a peek at this yesterday, and just talks about how to register the unit, how to get to the web UI. We're going to try all that today. Hopefully we don't run into multiple hours. But there is the quick start. So here we've got a GPS antenna that you can mount to the car. That's cool. I used to have these when I worked. I worked for a guy that used to fertilize lawns, and we had vehicles that were connected via GPS via USB. And so it's very similar idea. Is we had like a crazy amped up CRM, and it would track the vehicles, where we were, what jobs we were doing, how long it took us, all that stuff. He wasn't too like nickel and dimey, but we did have GPSs in the truck, and it was very similar to this one. Now this one is not USB. Obviously it is that connection that we already have on the Peplink. And here is that other star of the show. This is just the DC adapter that's going to plug into our Peplink unit. And so I'm going to be using that because I'm not hardlining this into the truck. Like when you turn it on, the unit comes on automatically. I am going to manually plug it in because, again, data plans, and sometimes we don't need it or whatever. So there is the Peplink unit. And with any luck, this will work swimmingly. I think I might need a screwdriver to get into all of it here, but here we go. On the top, we have our 2 LAN ports. One of them accepts PoE in, so you could run this off a PoE Plus adapter and it would charge it, which is kind of cool. Kind of cool to have that option if this was going to be in a RV that had a network, because like if I had an RV, you better believe I'd have a network. So you could power it over PoE and then do away with the DC port that's right here, actually. Do away with that connection. That's kind of cool. I think it needs 18 watts, if I'm not mistaken. We will look up that spec if anyone's interested. Then it has another LAN port, so this acts as a router. And excuse me. And you can configure this to have an output. So if you only have one Ethernet cable in your network and you're using it to plug in here, then you can output. You can get another LAN. You can also designate the WAN port as the third LAN port on this, but you cannot. This is the BR Mini, by the way, Cat 7. You cannot make the other ports WAN, as I understand. You can only have one WAN port. Now, the reason why you want a WAN port on this is because if you show up in a place that has a wired connection, you can bring your little grab box into your hotel room, for example, plug in wired internet to it, and then use all your devices don't have to connect to the hotel wireless. Only this has to connect to it. So that's...
How neat is that?
Oh, whoops, I meant...
That's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. So I love the idea of not needing to connect to having multiple devices connect to multiple places while you're traveling. It's like, kids, we're just going to turn on the Peplink. I'm going to turn off the cellular service, and we're just going to use the internet from the hotel. And then they can, you broadcast your own little network, and that's that. So I really like that a lot. Let's continue to take a trip around. There's nice, clean build, a couple of mounting screws on the bottom. Here we have our Wi-Fi antennas are on the side. Our SIM card pocket is in the middle. And then we have our cellular networks on left and right of here. And then in the middle is our GPS. And so when we're done building the box, we're going to mount this inside. Use Velcro. I don't necessarily think I want to use concrete tape to mount this inside the box. I won't mount it today, but I will mount it probably after the show because I don't have the Velcro up here, and I might need to order some. So I'm not 100% sure. Of course, I could probably get away with using, like cutting these in half and then using these, but I kind of want to, well, yeah, I might do that. I might like cut one of these into 4 and then just stick them on the corners, or maybe here on the corners, and then mount it inside of that DeWalt box so that I can take it out if I need to, but generally it won't. And it would give it a little bit of clearance. I don't know how hot this thing's going to get. So it would give it a little bit of clearance for air circulation if needed. I don't know. All right, let me jump back to the chat real quick. Our carrier is Rogers. Jeremy says he's got it. I have an unlimited plan, 350 gigs all the way to throttle. Hey, we can clink our Ember mugs when I come to visit. Hey, build your own pop-up Wi-Fi kit. Hey, how neat is that? Hey, we heard it. Hey, is that a cup of milk? Is there actually any coffee in it? Yeah, I did add a little too much creamer, but it is really good. Yeah, it's a little on the heavy side. I had to open a new creamer, and so I added the last of the old creamer, and then I accidentally put in a little too much creamer, so it's not as dark as it needs to be, but anyways. Hey, now that we know that John said this coffee is good, he's talking about his creamer. Yeah, it's like a latte at this point. It sure looks that way. Okay, guys, you're ribbing me on this. This looks like the same one that I have. It is the same. Oh, this is awesome. Are you going to go through configuration of this unit? I'm going to give it a go. I mean, who knows how long this is going to take, right? But if my wife texts me and says, hey, I need backup, then I might need to end the show early and we'll do a second round. But it is the BR1 Mini, and it is the Cat 7 version. So I found out there are various versions. This one just has a little higher throughput. So it's $50 more for the 7 over the Cat 4. But I don't think that honestly, I don't really think it really matters too much. But in the interest of getting the nicer one, the nicest BR1 or BR Mini. Is that what this is? BR1? Yeah, BR1 Mini. So, okay, so it might be the one that you have. It is the one that you have. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is get the box ready to receive all of this stuff. And, we're going to, we can set up power, we can set up configuration, but let's do the box build first because that needs to be done before anything else is really going to happen. The first thing is probably the power on the external of the box. This is going to need to be a 2-inch drill hole according to the pamphlet that came with this, which is actually over here. So it's just kind of a yoink. Yes, so it says drill hole needs to be 2 inches. So that's why I brought my little Mastercraft drill set and my trusty dusty wireless battery operated drills. So here we have the 2-inch is this one. Okay, we're going to just double check. So 2-inch, which should fit basically, yep, exactly that unit. So we're going to put that there. And then we're going to take our little, what is this, a guide bit? And we're going to screw that. Oh, sorry, I should do this on camera. The whole point of doing the build, John, is that we can see you building it. So we're going to screw this on, and then we're going to line up the holes in the bit, and then we're going to just drive that through so it locks, okay? So there are these little holes inside. You're just going to drive through that it locks. I know that you guys know how to do this, but if anybody stumbles upon this and wants to know how I did it, there it is. All right, so we're going to close this up. That's good. And got my little rigid lithium 18-volt drill, and we're going to just back this out. All right. Just turn the choke up a little bit here, okay? And then I don't really need any of the, I don't need like a hammer drill or anything. Okay, so I'm open to suggestions, but the place on this box that I think makes the most sense is here on the flat side of the back of this box for power. The power cable that I have is 10 feet, so I'm not too worried about it reaching in the truck because I'm just going to run it under the floor mats in the back of the truck. The outlet is actually in the back area where the seats are, and this is just going to sit under the seats. And so the idea here is that this was a nice flat area to, I don't know, put the power port, but I'm open to suggestions here. And I could put it probably on the side. There's like a ridge line here on the side. Again, this is bigger, John. I'm not used to you guys seeing my desk. So I could actually drill it probably there. And a side mount, I'm actually more interested in that, but I don't know how difficult that's going to be. So, yeah, I'm open to, should I give it a try? I mean, there's really no try. It is or it isn't. Once I start drilling a hole in this thing, it's going to be done. Or maybe on the backside, right? Yeah, because maybe I'll put it here because, and again, man, you guys, it's hard for you guys to see this. I just don't really care for you guys seeing my lap. Okay, so here, potentially, which is on the back side, like the front is over here. So I'll put it here, and then I could just run the cable around the side of the truck, even under I can even put it under the floor, that little plastic cover that it has. So if I put it there, then it's kind of out of the way, and that might work. My coffee this morning had a shot of espresso in it, and maybe a teaspoon of milk. No sugar. It was perfect. It actually tastes like coffee. And I put that in all caps for emphasis. Winnipeg is present. Hey, what's going on, Randy? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, John, can you add links to everything that you use in the description of the show? Absolutely. I will for sure do that. Show the inside of that box. Okay. Put that off to the side. And we did take a tour here a few minutes ago, but we will gladly do it again. So the inside is just very open. And I think a side mount I prefer. And so I'm going to actually attempt it over here, which would be, yeah, this would be the right spot for it, where it's going to actually sit in my truck, which is under my seats. I think this would be a good one. So let's give that a go. Now, I don't know if I can drill on camera. I don't know if that's going to be possible, but I am going to have to move the microphone out of the way. So wish me luck, everybody. Okay, well, that was actually a lot easier than I thought it was. Let me put myself back on the screen here. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be, which is just a little flimsy piece of plastic, right? So let's clean this up because, yikes, it's a total mess now. But we'll just move all of these little crumbs. That is a little hot, that's for shows. We're going to move these little plastic crumbs away. I could get a little piece of sandpaper, I guess, if I wanted to, like, if I was building this for a customer, perhaps. I might sand this down, but I'm not. So let's just make it as best we can. And I'm going to dump this in the trash. Sweet. All right. I like it. I thought I was going to have to do this on the back, but actually that is a great spot for that. So let's just go ahead and fit this now. Oh, that is slick. Nice and clean. Love it. Now, it's not going to be watertight underneath or on top because that ridge is there, but meh, whatever. That's kind of cool. That's going to look really intentional, and I like that a lot. So, sweet action. Now the question is, do you mount it this way or this way? Because then the plug will dangle down, right? So when the box sits like this, I actually kind of like that. What are your thoughts? Any ideas? I think that the side mount will get messed up with the ridge on the inside. Yeah, no, apparently it's fine. Hey, don't do it. Oh, well, too late. I actually like it a lot. And I might even get some like sealant, so you can, I'll screw this in today, but I might just pull it off after the show and then get a little bit of like silicone, whatever you call it, and you would just seal it up so that it is watertight. I'm not really going for watertight. I'm not too concerned about that. But the question is, now that I see it, I thought it was mounted on the inside. Okay. No, and I think I want to mount it upside down. Any thoughts on this? Because then the cover hangs open, but in this instance, so if I just hold it here, right, you like pop it up and then plug it in. Instead of it laying on the ground and potentially like stuff getting jammed on it, I think I like it mounted upside down. Although the logo is upside down, that's not really a big deal. I'm not going to really looking at the logo ever. So we're going to drop some screws into this, which I believe are sitting here on my desk somewhere. Not there, not there. Where did I put them? Not in the box. Oh boy. All right, let me look here because I had everything on my desk, so they're here somewhere. There they are not. Where did I put those? Of course. Or is it these guys? Yeah, actually. No, they look too big. Let's test fit. They're the only screws up here though, so they must be them. And it has a cable. Oh, I see. Yeah, and it has a cable tie, so this must be it. So let me just test fit this. Yeah, that's these. Okay, cool. What about sideways? Let's just take a look at that. so that it kind of goes to the back of the... Oh. Because then it would be out of the way, but it wouldn't get crushed, right? It's not a bad idea. So like this is... I'm sorry, you can't see that. So like this is what we're talking about. To the back of the box. It opens up to the back, and then when we close it up... Yeah, okay. That's it. That's a good idea. We're going to go with sideways. All right. So now we have a second rigid drill. I do have 2 batteries, but they're so easy to switch on and off that why not? All right, so we're going to go ahead and get these attached. So let's give this a go. Whoops. I don't need them super tight. I'll put this microphone up here so I can talk to you while I'm doing this. One, two. I'm going to go in a star pattern. 3, 4. Oh, that's a faulty screw. It's just full. Well, good thing I'm not going to need all 6. I just need 4. Yeesh. That's cool. Look at that. She's a beaut. And now, yep. Perfect. Yeah, I like that a lot. I love recessed power. I did this. I used a similar one on. Let me come back here. I used a similar one ages ago. I found these they're like really for like marinas or vehicles and stuff like that. I saw a guy install one of these, for example, on a. It was on the side of his truck where you plug in to warm up the engine, the engine block heater. He had installed one on the side of his truck, so he just had to come up with an extension cord and put it in the side. I thought that was kind of cool, although the truck was old enough to drill a hole in where he wasn't going to. He's probably not going to resell the truck anytime soon. So there was that. But yeah, good stuff. Okay, so the next thing that we need to do is install one of these or multiples of these, and I'm open to suggestions here, for the antenna. It's the same idea. It's a pass-through onto the side of the box. But do we do them on the same side as the power, maybe at the front? Or do we do them through the top? No, not through the top. Through the sides, through the front, through the back. This part I don't really know. I don't really have a preference on this. This might be a chore to get this out of here. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Perfect. Thank you, 2-inch bit screw. You were most excellent for this task. The other ones, the biggest hole to drill for these rubber grommets are 1.5 inches, so we don't have to quite go up to 2 inches. However, I have like every size I could possibly need here, so that's good. So do we do, for example, like 2 or 3 holes, like one for GPS, one for LTE, one for Wi-Fi cables, just to keep them organized, or do we do just one hole? I think one probably makes the most sense because I don't really need, I don't really need to monkey with it every single time. I just like to feed them all the way through. So the 1 inch is probably, the one that I would gravitate towards. It's actually sealed up. You have to cut the grommet when you're done, when it's installed. But this is a 1 inch. I'll put this up here so you can see it. This is the 1 inch. That would probably be plenty for all these cables. Let's get the Peplink out. And the actual antenna. And just see. Maybe I will want something bigger than 1 inch. Oh, I will. I mean, this would be tight once it's through. Once they're all through, but I don't think I can't put all of them in at once. So, all right, maybe we go a little bit bigger. The biggest one I have, there are 3 of these, is 1.5 inches. And that would accommodate everything. So, do we go big or go home? I mean, I really like my home, so that's a bad phrase. But do we say 1.5 inches is the correct size for all the cables? I'm leaning that way. Jeremy says, yes, that was for the power, like that. You need a lav for this show today. Yeah, hey, where's your road kit? Yeah, it's tucked away. It's here, actually. I just don't have it hooked up correctly. Like, I don't have all of the stuff plugged in, so you're right. These ones I should have done this. Hey, Sennheiser sent me their Profile Wireless for the demo. I love this thing. That's cool. Ooh, nice. I haven't seen those in person yet. The full design of the system is amazing. So I thought it's so well thought out and designed. Maybe I'll do an unboxing and review it. You should. And if you don't want to host it, come on my show and do an unboxing, and I'd be thrilled to host it for you. All right, so this is a 1.5 inch. Are there any naysayers as to why I shouldn't use 1.5 inch and should go down to a 1 this is a 1 3/16, slightly smaller, but I think the 1 inch the 1.5 inch makes the most sense. I have all the grommets, so why not? It's just a big hole that's going to be on the side of the box. And I think I'm going to put it on the front side, not the front side, but I think I'm going to put it on the same side as the power, but on the front of it, not on the back. So we had installed our power here on the back left of the box. If you're looking at the box, back left. And so I'm going to put it on the front left and put that grommet in here. Or how big is that grommet? Oh, it may not work because of the ridge. Okay, so I need this to go on the back. That's what needs to happen. Okay, because of the ridge. So let's flip it here. Yeah. And something like this next to the power. Let's open the box and see the power clearance. Am I going to have any issues? Does anybody know if I put these cables next to a power cable? Am I going to have any decibel problems? Should I install them over here instead? Sorry, let me lean this back so you can see. Should I install them over here instead? Because right now I'm talking about right here. They would come through and probably go to the BR unit that's here. This guy might get zip tied down like this and then plugged into power. So am I going to have any issues if those cables come into the box and they cross the power cable? Does anybody know? Please let me know before I drill that hole. Here is a little test fit for my power cable in this box while we're waiting for the opinions of Jeremy and Angus. Oh man, that's beauty. That fits perfect, and it's nice and snug. Almost too snug. All right, I prefer snug over loose. So good, very good. So that's my little 10-foot power cable that I'm going to have running around the truck. I don't necessarily know, but it's plenty of line because it's only like 3 feet to the power cable. So I'm probably going to have extra. Okay. So a single hole is so far what I have from Jeremy. Single hole would be nice. Then get a mesh cable wrap to keep things nice and neat. Isn't that the purpose of the shielding cable? Well, I don't actually know if the cables are shielded. Are they? I guess they would be. Let's find out. And yes, that would be the purpose of a shielded cable, is to reduce. That is just for the, that's not for the antenna. Was there a user guide for this thing? I didn't actually see a user guide for the actual antenna itself. But if only there was a giant search engine that we could Google our Peplink antennas. Let's say, do Peplink antennas have shielded cables? Peplink Mobility 22G antennas come with different cable lengths, including the 6.5-foot option, which is what I have, or a 16-foot option, but the context does not specify whether these cables are shielded or not. Peplink offers a UV stabilized and low loss extension with various connectors and lengths to meet specific antenna needs. For precise information, if whether or not the cables are shielded, it would be best to refer to the product specs. So I don't know. And neither does AI. Hey, are we talking about the antennas? Yes, they are shielded. I have a new furnace. I'm having a new furnace installed. We'll be in and out for a bit. Awesome. They do, for sure. Okay, thank you, Angus. All right, so we're good then. So I'm going to put them in that same corner as the power. I just got to be careful when I'm drilling. Careful when I'm drilling, because I don't want to hit the power cable, right? We're just going to put it right here at the back. This is a 1.5-inch hole. This one. So let's go ahead and grab the bit that I'm going to need. 1.5 is probably this one. Yep, 1.5. Excellent. Yoink. All right, here we go. We're going to move all this out of the road. I should have drilled all my holes before I started, right? But, oh well. It wouldn't be any fun if there was no risk involved, right? Come on. This one. Put my battery here. Back on my hole drill. Screw this on and line up. Come on. There we go. Here we go. That one's hot. Did a little extra. Took my time on that one, as I was trying not to go through the box very deep, because there is a cable on the other side, right? All right, so let's clean this up just a shade. That actually is cleaner than the first cut we made. Cool. All right. So now we've got our little rubber grommet here. Hopefully. Ooh, that is a very tight. Oh, dude. That is perfect. Oh, man. I like seriously could not be more happy about how that fits and feels. That's amazing. Oh, so cool, man. Yeah, cool. Very cool. Angus said, wrong spot. Oh, no. Let me go here. Crossing power adapter doesn't inherently cause decibel loss, but it's important to ensure the cable is not damaged or poorly connected. I found that on search. Coax cables have a braided or foil shield. Higher quality cables have both. It's just not a very good one. Shielding rating is in percentage. The higher, the better. And then Angus thinks I drilled it in the wrong spot. So the power is there. I was planning on putting it next to the power so that all the cables come in at the same spot, and then we'll run them. We'll run them over. So that's the spot I wanted to put it in, but maybe not the way that you understood the decision. I don't know. So there we go. Power's good to go. And now our little BR is going to sit right here. And there's tons of space in here. So I could bring another access point if I wanted and hook it up in here and then have my own access point. However, the Peplink will do that for me. Yoink. And coil this around. Yoink and yoink. Whoops. Come on, baby. There we go. So something like that. Maybe I mount it like in the center like this, and then power's coming in on one side and the cables will come in on the other and connect to the unit like that. So far so good. All right, let me put this stuff and clear the desk. All right, put my drill bits where I'm not going to get stabbed. And then now that the box is kind of together, let's put this aside. I'm going to plug it in. And I need to get an Ethernet cable plugged into it. And the reason why I need an Ethernet cable is because I want to access the web UI. So we've got our internet. And we're going to go, I'm going to read the manual here first and find out if it's WAN or if it's LAN that needs to go. Ethernet cable not included. Connecting to the router. Connect your Ethernet cable or by Wi-Fi. Connect to your LAN port. Okay. So we're going to connect to the LAN. LAN 1. Good. Oh, you know what I could do? I could power this over PoE. For the sake of what it is we're doing here today. Actually, I think this cable will do it. Oh, shoot. No. Okay, I'm just going to power it regularly. Just with standard power. Let's go ahead and test that. All right. Power. Power has been supplied. And the red light is on. Red light is on the Peplink. So, cool stuff there. Let's go ahead. Jeremy, how hot does this little unit get?
That's pretty neat.
I was curious because I'm building this little box and obviously there's not very great ventilation, but I could install, for example, a little fan like a fan on one side and a fan on the other that would move the air, like a little Noctua fan or something like that. That's ultra quiet and that would keep the air moving, but I don't know if that's necessary. Also, I'm looking for any plastic black floaties that have fallen in my coffee. I think we're good, but still looking. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and share my desktop view. And I'm going to move you guys over here. Did you just put a hole in a box to run an Ethernet cable out of? No. I ran a hole in a box to run all of my Peplink cables into. I mean, I could put the Ethernet cable through that hole, but I haven't cut it open yet, so I just haven't gotten there yet. I used a Nutric D-shape connector to feed an Ethernet through the box. Oh, that's cool. It does get warm. I haven't used it frequently enough to provide good enough info. Okay, well then I will be providing you with that info after a couple of trips. All right, let's go and see if we can't get to this web browser. So allegedly, the browser is on 50. So, hey, though having a grommet pass through for the antenna cables makes it kind of a moot point. Yeah, I actually saw side-mounted Ethernet ports, which I could put little daisy chains to. Actually, they come with them. And that would be great too, but I'm not actually going to use the Ethernet ports for anything. So unless I have a WAN connection, which then I would buy, like if I'm taking this to hotels, and actually I probably will, I will get a side-mounted Ethernet cable, which is for that WAN connection, and then I can just plug it into the side there. Now, allegedly, I believe, it claims that this is 192.168.50.1. is the access. So I'm going to need to add that to my network. But first of all, I will actually, let's go here and see if it showed up on my router. Go through. And I'll share this in a minute once I actually log in. Apparently, I haven't logged in. There we go. I was like, I've typed this 3 times and I'm not too sure. You could probably find out what my password is by watching my screen. So I designed, great idea, Angus. I've been building racks for my fiber converters, so many D-shaped bulkheads. I designed and 3D printed my own D-shaped bulkhead for ST connections. Oh, that's cool. Jeremy's very excited about that. All right, so let me go now. All right. And just pull up my network real fast and see if this unit has checked in. Somewhere in my IP list. If it shows up as 50, that would be hilarious. Okay, no. I'm going to grab the MAC address off the bottom. We're looking for 9880. Okay, so what I'm going to do is connect a little Ethernet adapter to my computer. And then we're going to just change that one. I'm also going to, I guess I have to leave this here for the time being. So let's go over to networks. We're going to go manage network adapter settings. Ethernet, this one right here. I want to edit this adapter, change this IP address to 50.10. Okay, so we're just going to change this adapter to 50.10, and then I am going to say the router is on 50.1. And then we are going to pull up that Linksys router, if it will let us. It did. Boom goes the dynamite. So we are now, I guess I'm going to need my keyboard. We are now here, the password is admin. We're in. All right. So that's good news. I like, current password. Whoops. Requires at least 10 characters, lower and uppercase with numbers. Okay. Whoops, that's wrong. All right, I'm gonna have to write that down because that's not a usual password that I use. All right, this SSID, we're going to name this. I'm open to names for my SSID. For now, we can just leave it as Peplink, I guess. And then I'm going to set this as, okay, your password has been changed. Excellent. Excellent. All right, here we go. All right, so there is no WAN connected, which we can do that in a second. Actually, I could do that right now. However, let me think that through a little bit, just because Yeah, okay, we'll do that in a second. Let's take a tour through the web UI. And guys, I'm sorry if you're screaming at me in the chat. Okay, no. I had to remap my network to admin into it. Oh my goodness. A little Ethernet adapter apparently works great. Apparently. Now, do we... Okay, we'll let's walk through real quick. So we have our WAN connection. There's nothing connected there. And there is no SIM card detected right now, but soon. Hopefully this weekend. We have a Wi-Fi on WAN is disabled, which allows you to connect to Wi-Fi networks. If you are to connect your antenna, it will allow you to find Wi-Fi networks in your area and use the wireless as a WAN, which is stinking awesome. Because if you have quick access to this, and I believe you would if you were connected via Wi-Fi, if you had quick access to this, you could pull this up when you pull into like Panera's parking lot and connect to their Wi-Fi, and then it could default over to use Wi-Fi while you're close to Panera, and then or Starbucks or whoever, or your hotel, and then go back to your SD card, or you go back to your SIM card when you leave the area. So in this mobile hotspot idea, I'm kind of excited to give this a try and to see how quick I can get onto other Wi-Fi networks to use them as WAN. So we'll give that a try soon. And then you can also connect your 5G connection to it, which, okay. I don't know why that's just not one in the same, but who knows. Then we have our Wi-Fi. Here's our Wi-Fi name. So if I were to just Google, or not Google, if I were to turn on a Wi-Fi device, I can go ahead, I guess, and check my phone, since why not? And we're just going to open Wi-Fi in the house. Peplink 522B is there. Now, it's a really weak signal because there's no antenna plugged into it, but there you go. It is there. The question I have is, if I turn the Wi-Fi into an incoming signal, does it continue to broadcast in like a local network? I would assume it would, right? Like your Wi-Fi network never turns off, but maybe not. I don't know. Somebody in the comments can maybe help me with that. Jeremy, since you own this product. All right, let's go on to Speed Fusion Connect. I don't have a subscription to this, and so this will not be something that I'm necessarily using. This is to connect to your online account. Relay mode for inbound access. So let's continue on. Here's the network data that you can set up static routes. You can do VPNs. You can do various things. So 1-to-1 NATs, many-to-one. Oh, that's actually NAT configuration. That's fun. So that's pretty neat. You can change the LAN, so we could set this up to be a different grouping of IP addresses. I don't mind 50. I might actually just change it though to network settings, VLAN IDs. I might change it. Let me think about that. Right now it's fine. I don't need any of that. Port settings. This is where you would turn port number 2. You can change the speed. Just leave it on auto, folks. There's no real need to do that. Trunk access. Oh, that's fun. Okay, so if you want that to be an access port and not a trunk port that's going out to the rest of your network, like if you have another switch, you could change it. And you can do that for either of those ports, 1 and 2. And then the WAN port, are you sure you want WAN port 1 as a LAN? So that's the button to switch them, which is kind of neat. Why do I even say that?
How neat is that?
Man, I gotta remember.
That's pretty neat.
So, all right. So these are the network, the actual ports on the unit. Portal open access. In control management enabled. Settings can now be configured on in control. Oh. Okay, so I'm new here, so I will need to set that up on my own. But maybe we'll do a walkthrough on that next show. WAN port. We're back to that first page that we were looking at. So WAN, no cable detected. Cellular, no SIM card detected. And then there's your Wi-Fi, which is currently disabled as an incoming WAN. Okay, so that's what those buttons are. That's incoming WAN. And then if you have a VLAN WAN. DNS, WAN quality, synergy controller. Starlink is disabled. However, you could connect a Starlink unit to the WAN port, and apparently they work really well together. From what I've read, like Peplink and Starlink have been doing a lot of work together to make it very seamless. And so, if you have a mobile Starlink account, which this build is a preemptive build to the bigger build, which we're going to do for Safe Harbor, which will have the BR2 Max and a larger antenna for doing remote productions. So that's kind of like where this came from. Highest priority, though, is WAN and then cellular. Can you change the priority? Table shows the status of the priority of each WAN connection. Only healthy WAN connections with the highest priority will be used to route traffic. You can drag and drop the connections up and down to change its priority. Oh, guy. Okay, so if you wanted your cellular to be first, you could do that. Okay, cool. Let's see what they have under the advanced options. So Speed Fusion, this is basically everything spelled out. Hot failover, WAN smoothing, bonding. Oh man, I'm kind of excited about this for the next build. IPsec VPN, so these are VPN options, port forwarding, open VPN, NAT mapping, add new NAT rules, QoS. A lot of this we're not going to be using at all. Quality of service, can we just turn this off? Bandwidth control, everything's disabled to start. That's fine by me. Apply the same settings to all users. So if you have like a YouTube, if you have people connecting via YouTube, we can video streaming, right? Video streaming, supported applications, application, YouTube. And we can say, lower priority, normal priority, whatever. But then if we say file sharing, gaming, I am peer-to-peer, web applications, I wonder if there's a way to specify. Oh, you can specify an IP address. Wait, can you? Single port? No, maybe not. It would be great if, like, I connected my phone and said, give me the highest priority, or give my wife the highest priority if she ever connects, because she'll be riding shotgun on most of these trips. So there might be an option to do that, but not there. Firewall options. Okay, so we've got a fair, it's a full-on router, so we've got a fair bit of firewall options, content blocking. You can specify an application to block. So if you don't want something to be accessed on your unit, then you could specify, I guess. I mean, that's not an entry level firewall routing feature. That's more of an advanced one, which is kind of nice to get for the price that this unit is. That's actually that's great. Really good. Exempt users, staff managers, guests. So you can actually specify exempted subnets. So if phones connect, you could have a separate subnet than for Nintendo's. That would be cool. I might try that. Yeah, I might actually really try that. Routing and protocols. Okay, a lot of this is above my pay grade. Remote user access. You can enable this. There's no I'll have to read up on that in the manual, I guess, as to what specifically that is. And then miscellaneous, high availability. For STP-enabled networks, click here to enable STP compatibility mode. Click here to configure custom connections, gateway, and slave roles, or click here to configure custom DNS slave roles. Okay, cool. So that's some good options there. Again, not going to be using it. Authentication server, accounting services, certificate managers. If you have probably VPNs and stuff, right? Yeah, certificates from VPNs. You can load them in here so that they're valid when you try and connect. DNS forwarding setup. That's kind of neat.
That's pretty neat.
And then SIP path-through is always enabled. By default, UDP ports are also included. Vonage, that's funny. If you experience problems in making VoIP calls, you can consult your VoIP service provider. Okay. So if you have a VoIP phone in your vehicle or whatever, that would potentially work. That's kind of neat. And IPsec, NAT-T. That one I'm not familiar with. IPset site to site. Okay. Click site to site VPN option. Select the WAN to force routing. Man, there is so much customization here. I mean, I love it. GPS forwarding. Why would I? GPS receiver. GPS receiver for raw network streaming. I want to learn more about that. GPIO. Group networks. SIM toolkit, which I don't have a SIM yet, and UDP relay. Okay, so seriously, those advanced options are pretty awesome. I mean, they give you a ton of flexibility. Here is the option for the SSD. We can now I was watching a video, coffee time. Creamer with coffee in it time. So I was watching a video that talked about how you can set up geo fencing for this unit to turn on and off when it leaves an area. So if you don't want the SIM card on when you get home, you want it to connect to your home Wi-Fi instead, you can set it up around the factory, around the shop, and when the vehicle returns to the shop, it connects to the Wi-Fi and turns off the SIM card. Yes, please. That would be amazing. In particular, we're always having the kids put their games and stuff away when we're getting home, like we're turning onto our street, and it's always this headache. So it'd be great if the internet turned off when we turned onto our street, or roughly around then, and then they would know, okay, time's up, and we wouldn't have to nag them all the time to make that happen. So apparently there's a way to geofence it to where then it will auto turn on and off when you come into an area and leave an area. So here's the SSID, shared key, hide, management frame. Okay, cool. Fast transition. Fast transition activates 802.11r for compatible devices, though some legacy devices may not be able to join this network. Okay. Security always on. Access control settings. Guest protection. Block all private IPs. Custom subnet. Oh, nice. So it's not on you don't have to have it on the 50 network. You can have it on something else. That's cool. Firewall settings. Flexible or locked down. That's cool. All right, I like that. Let's go on to wireless mesh systems. There are no wireless mesh systems enabled. Mesh ID. And shared key. Okay, so we would load our options in there if we wanted to add it to a mesh system. And then settings. Oh, wow. Auto channel update every day at 3 o'clock. Wait until no active clients are associated. Output power maximum. Huh. Question. What are your thoughts on the 2.4 and the 5 gig network? Because if I'm just traveling in my truck and the access point is basically on the window, do I really need 5 gigs? Like, I mean, I know it's quicker throughput, and I guess it makes sense to basically only have 5 gigs because it's faster, but it has a shorter throw. But, like, do I need to have both networks on? I don't know. I don't know if that's required. But anyways, we can talk about that. Maximum number, a client signal strength threshold, maximum number of clients. That's cool. You can limit that. Access point status. So currently just on. Wireless SSIDs. This is the only one that's open with one AP. There are no clients associated with it, which I could connect my phone, I guess, and find out. Mesh. There's nothing going on with mesh. What nearby devices are there? Oh, that's cool. So it shows my access points here at the house and all their information. Last seen 7 years ago. And then event log. So if anything has happened, and nothing has. All right, that's cool. I like that. System, we've changed our password. We probably need to change our username as well. Session timeout after 4 hours. My goodness. Authentication method, we could change. We could, if we had a Radius server or something like that, we could change that. Security, this is kind of all fine for what I'm going to be doing with it. Max BR1, that's the name. So I might actually change that to like Lariat Internet or something like that, because that's what I drive. Or just Ford. Ford BR1 router. Whoops. Or router, as they say in Europe. Why not? That's fine. Save. Hit the apply changes to confirm. Okay. Firmware updates can be done from here. Can we check for firmware updates? Check your no results from the last check. Oh, do we need to manually update it? So BR1 Mini Cat 7 firmware. Current version that I have is 841. Come on, Peplink. Best value for industry. Let's go to this website. Sorry, I know you guys can't see it a second, but I will. Whoa. Pull it up here in a minute so that you can see. Boink. Why is this website so big? Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Yoink. What is going on here? All right, let's go again here. Firmware. I don't know why this is like. Oh, that's why something has been zoomed in for some reason. All right, BR Mini is what I've got. I don't see a specify like an actual specific hardware or individual. So this is the X series, Balance series, Max. I clicked on it, but it didn't take me there. I am one of the smaller guys, so I'm going to be down the list probably. Max. What? Maybe I'm supposed to be up here? No. What's going on here? Important notices. So firmware 8.52. So we do have a firmware update. Allegedly. Oh. Can I say mini? Max Mini. No, wrong. Mini? That's strictly the Max. Balance. The B series. There are none there. What on earth? AP1 Mini. Surf and Go, SIM injectors. Nope. POTS, max adapters, and that's it. Okay, so maybe I should read this then. Firmware is available or above. SpeedFusion VPN not compatible with devices running 8.0 or below. AP controller users with the Wi-Fi operating country set to Taiwan or Brazil must review. The Fusion and remote SIM users, it is suggested to upgrade to the SIM injector. In control must be enabled on prime care devices. Further major updates will not be further major firmware updates will not support the following models. They will receive 8.3.x maintenance releases as needed. Okay, so apparently I'm 8.3. I'm on 8.4. And no results. Please check in later. And that's because I don't have any internet. So that would be why. So let's continue on, and I'll sort that out later. We can go to the time server and universal time server. Not the Eastern time zone, show all, but the Central time zone. So Atlantic, Eastern, Central. Time server, GPS please, and save. Save changes, hit apply. I like the GPS option. Schedule. You can set a schedule for this thing to operate or not. Email notifications. Let's see what they have to say. This feature, email notifications, allows emails to be sent to the listed recipient email address when the following events take place. Email notification test, new firmware version is available, health status changes of the WAN connection, VPN status changes, bandwidth usage has reached 75% of allowance, bandwidth usage has reached 95. Okay, well, that might be good to have. But that's going to require me to look stuff up, so I will do that later. Event logs, cool. Push events to mobile devices. Okay. SNMPs. SMS controls. When this box is checked, your device will be allowed to take actions according to received commands via... Ooh. Make sure your mobile plan supports SMS, and some may incur additional charges. It can reboot a device, configure cellular settings over signal. That's so cool. No way. Mini. SMS commands right here for, what did I say? This. Download this. This is a cool reference. SMS controls allows users to control the device using SMS even if the modem does not have a data connection. It's so cool. Please be aware of the following items before you activate the service. Make sure that your mobile service supports this. Depending on the mobile service plan, using SMS may incur additional charges from your service provider. SMS is not guaranteed. SMS is not an encrypted protocol, and sending and receiving these messages can experience highly variable response times and can sometimes have extended delays. Okay, so it's not instantaneous, everybody. Configuration. To set this up, go to System, click Enable, set the password up to a maximum of 32 characters that may not be included. That may not include semicolons. You can optionally add phone numbers to the whitelist. Only matching phone numbers are allowed to issue commands. That's cool. Phone numbers must be in E164 International Phone Number format. Save the button, hit the save button, and then commands overview. Reboot your device. So texting it reboot will reboot it. Cell reset. You know, I'm totally going to do this. Just give me a second. Let me put this over here and just do this. Yoink. Phone numbers. 1. Save. Hit apply. Applying these changes. Whitelist. The international numbers. Yeah, okay. Got it. Applying changes. Set the carrier's username and password. Set the APN for the particular cellular or SIM slot. Reboots the cellular module. Factory reset of the device. No way. Command help. Syntax password help. Sender will retrieve a list of SMS commands. Oh man. All right, I'm going to have to print this off and like actually read through it, but this is so cool that I could send commands to my device via text message. That's so cool. All right, let's now that this is saved, I will move off this page so my information is not necessarily out in the wild. All right, in control. In control, restrict the status for reporting only. Private host name in control. Okay, so I haven't configured in control yet. So factory reset this device, download your active configurations, upload configurations. Oh, cool. Hyper activity. Okay. Feature add-ons, nothing yet. Reboot the device. Both. Oh, it has 2 slots for firmware. That's cool. Ping, trace route, wake on LAN, and WAN analysis as a server, as a client. Okay. And then we have a status page. Cool. So link load balancing, speed fusion bonding. All right. So then usage reports and all that stuff. All right. Well, this is so stinking cool. Mostly because, yeah, I'm pretty excited about this. Status of our Wi-Fi. It's nice that that's like right there on the network. I am going to join with my phone and watch this populate because it's literally right here. All right, you need to enter a password. Peplink, no internet is connected. So now if I say wireless clients, iPhone right there, connected. So if I click on this, ooh, what does this do? Just favorite that generation, IP address. I haven't been given an IP. Certainly I have. Yeah, 50.175. So does that mean then if I go to 50.1 on my phone, this is kind of what I'm curious about, because if I connect my computer, right, 192.168.50.1, go, connect. There it is. There's the interface. So, you know, for my phone and my computer and stuff like that, I could be on one network. For everybody else, I could put them on another. That's pretty neat. I do like that a lot. So let's go to network now that my phone is connected. And let's just see what options I have to do that. Access point. There's the network. Wireless clients. Peplink, I'm on the 5G. Okay. I can't click on him though. Mesh, nearby devices, wireless SSIDs. That's just my access points, settings. Now the next question I have, I guess, is how do when I connect my antenna, does it give me stats on that? You know, like how, you know, whatever the, oh, you know what I could do? Yeah. Okay, so we could connect our, I could connect the antenna, and then I could join my house network and see how it behaves, right? This unit is not hot. It's a little warm, but it's not hot. No, I'm not trafficking any information across the network yet, but it's not that hot. So they gave me a little X-Acto knife in my grommet packet to cut this little grommet. Oh, and why not bring you guys back into the show here? Yoink. All right. So they gave me the little knife here to cut the grommet. All right, so it's cut. And now we're going to take our antenna. I'm just going to feed the pigtail through the back. All right. Okay. So it is fed in the back. We're just going to open this up. Gingerly put that down there. There we go. Cables are here. Now, I may just power this down while I connect this. I don't know, call me paranoid. Boy, I see why you wouldn't want to have to do this a lot. Why those quick connect units are probably worth their money. Cool. All right, so we're going to just leave that as is for now. And go back over here. Oh, we got to power back on. Huh? Okay. So we're going to power it up. And now that this unit is configured, I could probably join my computer via Wi-Fi to the 50 network, right? So let's go ahead and do that. Yoink. Network's enabled. Hot coffee. It has officially been an hour and a half, so there you go. Waiting to connect to the Wi-Fi. Obviously, the unit's probably not even booted up yet. How long do we think the unit takes to power on? 2 minutes? That's going to be good to know when I'm in the truck. I have a red status light so far. And no status on the Wi-Fi. There it is, green status. So the unit is loaded. And now we're going to wait for that Wi-Fi network to come online. Because you know my kids are going to be like, I can't connect. I'm like, all right, you got to give it 2 seconds, kids. So if the unit takes 2.5 minutes to load or something like that, and I know that there are status lights on each of these. So LAN 1's connected. I just don't see the Wi-Fi connection yet. Now, oh, that might be incoming, like WAN Wi-Fi. That may not be access point Wi-Fi. So if I click here again, hidden networks. It's not a hidden network. Regardless, are we back in here? Okay, so we do have this loading. So the 50 network is on. Let's go to again, I should probably pay attention when I'm typing my passwords. Okay, so we are back in here. Cellular is not we're not gonna have anything yet, bud. But could we connect to WAN networks? WAN on Wi-Fi. NAT, remain connected. Channels, DNS lookup. Okay, so let's NAT, channel, auto, channel, output max, DNS lookup, Wi-Fi connection profile. So we could say like, oh, network name. Okay, let's go back to full screen here. So here I'm going to enter my credentials. Preferred, what is this? Oh, nope. Connection method DHCP. Obtain DNS automatically. Say OK. Okay, so if we say save and apply, does this change the priority? You know? Like if I put this here then, priority 1, why can't I put it above that? And then WAN is WAN, I guess, here. So does that change my 5G network? The question I have is, does that change my 5G network if I join my Wi-Fi network here at home on 5G? Does that disable the 5G network broadcasting from the truck? That I don't know. It doesn't look like it here. It looks like it's still on. So I haven't acquired an IP address yet. Maybe I need to raise this up like a Josh Groban song. All right, here we go. Maybe not. No WAN connected. So now, because the Wi-Fi is on, okay, let's go here. Available spots, Peplink, there we are. Connect. And whoops. Now, is this going to kill my stream? I wonder. Okay, I am connected. Let me jump over to... Oh, I guess not, because it's kind of... All right, and then I can disconnect this internet from my computer and connect it to my network. Ooh, we are connected to Zierhouse. Check that out. Yay. All right, and now I have connected the WAN port to my house as well. So we're going to see how long it takes for that to show up. And while we're doing that, let me pull up vMix Socials. Oh no. What's going on here? Am I still live? All right. Warning, your bitrate is low. Okay, so this says I'm still live. For some reason, my... Oh, socials changed. Hang on, everybody. vMix Social. On. View. Okay. Okay, so here we go. Where did I stop? Sorry, everybody. Did I get dumped, or did you guys just... Did I just disappear? FBI Command Center. Ooh, check it out. GPS is up. Oh, okay. There's my home address. GPS is up. the WAN still has not connected. So let's go over to advanced and see, or just network maybe. WAN. Bandwidth allowance monitor. Service provider. This is enabled, always on, independent from backup, connecting method, DHCP. Click here for other settings. Remain connected. Yes. Apply. Okay. Save. No cable is connected to WAN because I'm in the LAN. That might be why. That might be why. When in doubt, connect it to the right port. Literally. That port is on the right. Yoink. Now we are in WAN. Here it comes. SSID. Wi-Fi WAN is a wonderful feature. Converting to LAN for your Resi encoder while you're on the road. No, it doesn't repeat Wi-Fi. Boo. My GL iNet routers can all repeat Wi-Fi, which is so useful for testing at home. But I may have missed that configuration somewhere in there. That is called bridge mode, correct? Not really, no. It's true Wi-Fi as WAN. It lets me connect to my own SSID and insulates my connection. That's what I have. That's what this is right here. Because now I can connect to my 50 network and I have internet, so it's passing it through. Also lets me use Tailscale, WireGuard, and all that. Got to come back to this later, crew. See ya, Jeremy. It's good to see ya. I leave them both on 2.5. Can get very congested. Ooh, FordNet Knudsen. See, I don't know if I want to drive down the road with my last name. SMA connectors wear out pretty quick, too. Best to leave them connected as much as possible. Okay, good to know. Thank you, everybody. Sorry, I had to catch up on the chat because I've been plugging networks in and out. So we have, like, the WAN is up and the Wi-Fi is connected. And so that's great. And I am still connected here via Wi-Fi. So I refresh this page. I'm still connected via Wi-Fi. So that's very convenient that we're up and running. The box is working. The antenna is on. Now I just need a SIM card one of these days. And hopefully that comes in the next couple of days. But yes, independent from backup WANs. So now the question is geofencing. And I want to see where that is on here. That's, I would assume it's under advanced or maybe under system. Feature add-on instead. Maybe, you know where it is? It might be on the in-control side of things, this. So, Peplink ID, new to in-control, you better sign up. Okay, we will sign up here. And I'll just pre-fill my information here. Use a strong password. Paste. I am not a robot. Click on all motorcycles. Technically, that's not motorcycle. That's a part of the guy's body. Click on all buses. Oh, man, I hate these CAPTCHA things. Okay, now I'm not a robot. Create. You did not fulfill the character requirements. My goodness. Click on everything until they're not cars. Come on. Verify. Suggest a strong password. Use a strong password. At least one special characteristic. That's why. Lowercase, uppercase number. Yep. And at least 10 characters. Okay. Now create. Update. Boom. Send me my verification email. What do I got over here? Okay, it's just me. Hey, guys. All right, so let's see. I'm going to put you guys back over here. Why? VMix Social just dropped again. View. Okay, there it is. My goodness. All right. Oh, it's right here. Whoops-a-daisy. All right, so we're going to go into in control. They sent me a verification email. We're going to head on over to the Gmail. And we're going to log into this one here. Peplink ID. Please verify. Confirm your email address. That's what I'm doing. SN not found. Sorry, no device in your managed organization or group has that serial number. What? Can I just go to my account? There it is. Your recent logs. Application name. Application. My organization. Organization group serial number. Okay. So I guess I need to create an organization. Oh, but this is weird. In control, cloud-based device management and monitoring. Knudsen Enterprises. That's what we're going to call it. I'm in the United States. Whoops. Autofill. This is weird. Oh, it pinged my service provider, which is in Atlanta for some reason. Evidently, that's the closest thing to us. There we go. Okay. Two-factor authentication for all users. Block Peplink support. Why? Submit. Did it go through? Creating your organization. Please wait. Excellent. Your organization requires two-factor authentication. Click here to enable. Here, no records. Enroll a device. Enable two-factor authentication. Oh my goodness. Where did I put my phone? Here it is. Boink. Verification. Yoink. What was that? Who just messaged me? Oh, not what I thought it was. Secret key. Okay. Install one of the following applications. Google Authenticator or... Oh, why? Cancel. Go back to my organization. Go back. Go back. Force all users. Don't. Creating organization redirecting. Enable. I want to enroll a device. Okay. Cancel. Enroll device success. Submit. This is a very confusing website that I'm doing here. I don't really... Oh. Whoa. That was cool. Add. Log in with passkeys. Okay, so let's try this again. Whoops. Go down. Camera. This is peplinkid.peplink.com. Yoink. Username. That's not really what I want to do here. Cancel that. Add a verification code. Scan the card or manually enter the secret key to add your PEP ID into your account. I wish there was a way to like take a picture. Because this is going to take a long time to sit here and type this out. Maybe I could take a picture and copy it that way. Let's see if it'll let me do that. How smart are you? Oh, pretty smart, actually. Now, whether this works, we will find out. Paste. Okay, it seems to have worked. Save. Oh, one-time code. This actually is working. Did that work? It worked. Unbelievable. Oh, color me impressed. Name your group. Knudsen Home. Ooh. I am not there. Do not stand at my grave and weep. I am not there. I do not sleep. Okay, here we go. Create group. Tag serial numbers. In control allows you to blah, 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 to manage your devices you need to meet these requirements. The serial number. Okay. So we can go over here to the web UI. Say dashboard. Or maybe it's under status. I can't remember. And we need to copy the MAC address. Here it is. Of the LAN port. Wait. Oh, that's not right. Oh, serial number. Here it is. Copy. Please ensure that you own these devices, that they are not managed by other organizations. Confirm. Added successfully. That's cool. Dashboard. One device is online, and it shows me on a map where it is. How cool is that? Oh my gosh, that is so stinking neat.
That's pretty neat.
I love it. I love it. Wi-Fi access points. Does it report in everything? Group-wide access points. Save changes. Clients. It definitely tells me that there's a client on my device. Here, I'll show you this. Whoops, sorry everybody. It shows me that there are clients connected to this device. This is my home computer. It tells me the IP address. It's kind of like wacky. It's kind of all over the place in terms of what IP address it issues. It doesn't do them in order. That was a very random IP address, and now I don't know where it went. So refresh. I should be on that network. Available networks. Looks like it kicked me off. Connect. See if I reappear. Let's see how fast it takes. Okay, I'm connected now. See how fast it takes to get. Refresh is on, so I feel like this should. Maybe it's every minute, or 30 seconds, or something like that. Let's go ahead and refresh it manually. Yeah, or is that manual? Here we go. We'll just refresh the screen. Well, the question I guess might be. Oh, there I am. So yeah. If I click on this user, connected, strength is high. There, that's where he's plugged in. Oh man. Yeah, this is really cool. Device management. So this is sweet because I can get to this website anywhere in the world, right? So Now the question is, if I click on this device, it's connected here, details, can I change that? Settings, remote web admin, device tools, device details, SSIDs and radios. So like if I roll up, if I have this website saved, for example, and I roll up, can I, no, it's not under AP, right? It's going to be under remote admin WANs. This is the site I want to have. This is the site I need bookmarked. Because if we show up at Starbucks for a half an hour, we're going to eat lunch or something. Does it permit me to say, okay, go ahead and connect to that Wi-Fi? Also, I still haven't seen the priority thing. So I really want to prioritize, where did vMix Socials go? IP address. It says I'm still connected, but it's showing me a different IP address. Okay. It looks like I haven't missed anything yet. So it's been on for 24 minutes. This is that's not what I was looking for. This is this page. Unable to connect to device. Reconnect. Let's give it one more try. I might need to enable it on this page. Not this page. I might need to enable it on, where did you go? There it is. On this page. So status system, maybe it's under advanced, the in control, like allow in control to handle all that. Okay, there we go. So this is through the website. It's a little slow, but if we go to I guess network, I gotta learn network, click on WAN, and then WAN on 5G, go down here and say create a profile. Ugh, I don't like that. I wish there was a way to like search for networks, like search for networks in the area and connect to it, right? Because that would make a lot more sense. A search for connections and then like, oh, that's cool. Signal thresholds. I like that. So you can change this. If the signal threshold is defined, this connection will be treated as down when a weaker than threshold signal is determined. To determine the threshold with specific signal strengths, please click here. Oh, I see. So no, I don't want that. I just want like that, something arbitrary. Roaming, connect to any open AP. Connect to any open mode AP. Yikes. And this option is specified whether the Wi-Fi WAN will connect to any open access points it finds. just get on anywhere. That sounds like a hacker. That's what that sounds like. Just connect anytime. It's fine. Independent from backup WANs. Always on. Man, that's pretty cool. So do I got to configure this one as well to join? Oh, hold the phone. There it is. Yeah. Okay, that's what I was looking for. So then if you go here and you say edit, and I go down and I say NDI Wi-Fi. Okay, so all I have to, cancel. All I have to do is enable this. This is just currently disabled. So if I go here and I say save and apply, that turns it on. Whoops. Enable. That turns it on. And now all I have to do is click edit. Boom. There are my networks. And then allegedly scanning. There they are. So if I say connect and then I connect, disconnect. Now, that's what I needed to know right there. Zero house, wait for it to connect. Scanning, scanning, scanning. All right. So now captive portal. I think this is the open access portal network settings. Settings can now be configured in control. Static routes, caching, advanced. There's got to be a place now where I can geolocate, right? Settings, remote, dashboard, networks, bandwidth control, applications, remote. It's got to be here under settings. Remote web admin. Take me to the dashboard. Oh my goodness. All right. We're into 2 hours on this, and I love it. It's just we're into 2 hours. And so, oh, this one's on standby. Why is it on standby? It's interesting. No problem. Status of Wi-Fi AP. No Wi-Fi AP. Why is that? Because no one's connected to it? Is that? No, my computer's connected to it. So perhaps if I move the Wi-Fi, oh, that's why, because it's in, if I move the Wi-Fi and then I put the cellular as the backup, then this is what will prioritize the Wi-Fi over cellular data. Perfect. All right, so now if I'm going to connect to that access point, and searching for that Wi-Fi. Okay, so it's not available. There is no access point now. So is it because I moved them both over to WAN? I wonder. Yeah, it's because I moved them both to WAN. So this can be managed in control, which is nice. BR Max SSID, which apparently is on, but there isn't an antenna for it. That's the problem. So I need to drop one of these. Network, WAN, and then I need to cancel either the 5G or the 2G. So let's cancel 2.4, disconnect, and let's see if it shows up again now. Oops. Disconnect. Are you sure you want to disconnect from there? Yes. And I want to disable this. So disable this as a WAN connection. Come on. Is this, oh, it's through the website. That's why. I was like, why is this taking so long? If we go back to, do I got one of those open? Yeah. Yoink, yoink. If I go here. Oh, because the Wi-Fi's off. That's why. That's funny. So AP, network, WAN, and then here, open this and say disable, save. All right, now, waiting. Go ahead and restart my Wi-Fi. It's probably going to take a hot second for the network to come back, the 2.4 gig network to come back. WAN connections, AP, no Wi-Fi AP. Why? Is it, did I wipe all the settings when I moved it? I must have. Look, it's totally empty. There's no information here. All right. So fascinating. So we had some suggestions here for the SSID. The name could be FBI Command Center. That's funny. We are going to call this probably Ford Mobile. Mobile. Always on. No VLAN. We're going to do a personal. And nope. Restricted mode. All fine. And then hit save. No, we don't need to save that password. All right, so now we're going to wait and find out the last. This is kind of the last piece here, folks, of my customization for today. And then I do need to probably go down and make sure my wife is good. Oh, no, you broke it. Yeah, I definitely did. And I do that all the time, eh? Now, we can do multiple SSIDs out of this, which is kind of cool. So the trick will just be, will it show up on my phone after a hot second? We can also check the status light inside the unit because there's a Wi-Fi status light here. Yep, it's on. Cellular is off, but that's expected. And then let's power cycle my Wi-Fi. It's almost like this. It's almost like it needs it to be a 5.0 because I re-enabled the 2.0, right? But it's not showing on my phone. My phone should definitely have 2.0 or 2.5 gigahertz. So let's go back to dashboard. See one more time what's going on here. This is still listed as enabled. I'm just going to go back, device settings. What? AP is currently on. Click it to turn it off. Are you sure it's on? Because I just changed all that. Let's go ahead and refresh. Interesting. Let's see. Not entirely sure. Maybe I need to power cycle the whole unit. Here we go. Nice thing is I installed this power on the outside of the box so I could just power down and power back on. Perhaps that is the problem. You broke it. I probably did. All right, so go back here. There's not a lot going on in this box. This box is actually way bigger than it needs to be. Don't mind that though, right? And then this WAN port is plugged in. We're gonna go back to our interface, which is still reporting that the unit is on, which I definitely know it's not. It is off. So the update on the site is pretty slow. Let's go ahead and check our Wi-Fi networks and see. Come on. See if it pops up here. Otherwise, we're going to need a hard line back into it. Wi-Fi networks are not showing the new SSID. I'm also waiting for it on my phone. I just need to turn on consistently every time, right? Now, again, the power up process for this seems to be a couple of minutes. So it's not insanely fast. But if I get access to this again, which it does claim to be online. I'm going to go back to the Wi-Fi access points. Add a new SSID. Yeah, so it doesn't register it here as a known SSID on the fleet. Knutson home. This is the current device. The dashboard. That's what the SSID still reads, which is not true. I'm going to look again. See if my new SSID has appeared. It has not. Or the unit appears to have come back. SSIDs and radios. Oh, look. Okay, that's actually nothing. Wi-Fi access points. They claim to be up and running, but my phone still does not see anything. It just sees the two networks here in the house. Okay. Let's just check my Wi-Fi one more time. See if it's here, because if it is, then I'll connect to it and I can get to it locally. It's not here. So, let's go here. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh man, there's a second apply changes button. Peplink. I'd like to lodge a complaint. There should not be a second apply button. New SSID. That's why it's not showing up. Because I hit save, but not apply. And then I restarted the unit. Ford Mobile. Save. Apply. That's the stupidest thing. I hate that. Because it showed it on the list like it was done, and now it has to apply the changes. And I bet you any money it'll take 2 seconds to show up on the list. But that's silly. And I'm not too sure why my SSIDs disappeared from the list, because they definitely should not have. Why does this still show this? Oh, that's the device name. But that's not. Whoa, CPU load. Changes have been applied. Looking for networks. Ford Mobile. There it is. Joined. All right, so you have to hit save and then you have to hit apply, and I'm sure there is a reason. I'm just not quite sure what the reason is. There's that, which is super annoying because it definitely should not require you to hit basically save twice. But there it is. Okay, so we are connected. If we go over to dashboard, it's been up for a few minutes. Let's refresh this dashboard because this is a different SSID now. This is not the SSID. SSID and radios are being managed. Let's go to those settings. It doesn't tell us anything, which is silly, but it will tell us what the clients are. So there we are. So my iPhone is here and my computer is here. Both of them are connecting over the 5G network, which is interesting because I didn't think that was the way that worked. But anyways, IP addresses are getting issued at random, not in sequential order, which I think is weird, but maybe that's by design. And now both my devices are gone. Why? What is going on here? Device control. Yep, I am definitely off of that network now. My phone is off that network. It dropped. And so is my computer. What is going on here? It's no good to me if you can't connect to this network. So something's up. It hasn't found that network again. So if we shut this down and turn it back on, recycle those networks, this will probably disappear. Oh no, it claims to be there. Can't connect. Yeah, I'm not on that network. All right. Well, we are up and running. The catch will be the cellular connection, right? That's the next piece, and then the install in the truck. So those are the kind of the two outstanding items from this install. Everything else is good to go. Like we are actually up and running, and the devices are, I mean, I got to just Velcro this down. But other than that, everything is done. I could remove the WAN, and because it is connected to my my Wi-Fi network. So I could remove the WAN, which would allow me to close the cover. And then I can, let me run over here to in control. See, it does claim that it's still online. The WAN has been disconnected, but Wi-Fi on WAN is still good to go. Cellular is, I need to probably go over and disable that for now so it stops trying to do that. Oh, I may not be able to do that. It may just be on cellular. Let me just see if I can turn this off, because I don't need to have it constantly cycling. Let me put you guys over there too so you can see what I'm clicking on. So, yoink, this is waiting. It's taking a long time to load this. Again, it might be, so we might have some other issues going on here. I don't see the truck Wi-Fi broadcasting anymore. If I go over to AP mode, you know, like it was connected to my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi firewall might be like rejecting this thing. Okay, Knutson home group. And then here is that device. Let's just renew that connection real quick. And then Wi-Fi AP is currently on. Click here to turn it off. Remote web admin. Connection failed or refused. Can we go one more time? Connecting to device. But the access point has not come back on. There's the, okay, here's the interface. It is still connected to Zier, which is my home Wi-Fi. And then if I go to AP mode, the SSD is gone. Oh, it's being managed via in control. SSD, maybe in control is resetting. Follow group-wide SSD settings. Add an SSD. All right. Maybe this is the problem, is that it's being controlled here. Enable. This SSD is enabled on all devices because I've only got one. Not open encryption. It's a shared key. Management layer 2 isolation. No. Not at this point. Ooh, visibility. We can hide it. Ooh, that's fun. Show this SSD. Block all private IPs. Ooh, there's a lot of settings over here. Radios, preferred radios, maximum number of clients, firewall mode, schedule, captive portal, save settings. No. Now, if I refresh this, does that information get pushed to this device? It would be sweet if it did. Yeah, wireless SSD configuration is being managed by InControl. So that's probably what the problem was. So now if we go back to Knudsen Enterprises, we click on Overview, and let's go through the devices again. SSIDs. Ford Mobile. Just showed up on my phone. So now I click on that. I'm auto-connected. Wow, that was really fast. And then if I go to Clients, boom, my iPhone is there. If I click on this, can I edit any of this stuff? Notes. John's iPhone. Cool. It's connected. There's my IP address. Clients. How quickly does this update, I wonder? Let's go ahead and add my computer to it now that it's and what's this over here, this action? InTouch. Add an InTouch profile for remote management. Okay. So now we can always assign it. John's iPhone. Basic authentication compatibility mode. Group name. Admin. Okay. All right. So if we go back to clients, my computer should, save changes. So we go back to clients. We should see my computer is now there. So we can say same thing here. vmix24, group, admin. Boink. All right, so now those, I can add my kids' stuff. I could do whatever. But these devices are getting 50 addresses, and now I have internet. So if I went to airplane mode, and I'm connected to Ford Mobile, and I open a web browser, probably not that web browser. If I open this web page, boom, I got internet. So the WAN port is now working. I'm sorry, the Wi-Fi as WAN works just fine. I don't know about geolocating. I'm going to have to figure out where that feature is. But the overall impression now is we are up and running, and we manage it on the web UI, not inside the admin control surface. So I still need to write down the password for this unit, because I'm probably going to forget it if I don't. But we are now working off of the web UI for all of this stuff to run. So that is it. I mean, that was it from start to finish. We customized the box. We customized the Peplink unit, the router itself, and we unboxed a brand new antenna and tested that. It is now functioning. The GPS is working. It's working really well inside my house. Now, I haven't tested the cellular, and obviously I haven't mounted this inside my truck yet, and so that's the next step. But as it is right now, as a standalone network, and as something that should connect to my home when I arrive, and should prioritize the Wi-Fi over the cellular service, that's great. Now, it's not very often we're going to be using this in my driveway, but if we can geolocate based on GPS, which is really cool that that's on board. If I can geolocate and turn off the unit or disconnect the access point when we turn down our road, that would be amazing. So I'm going to try and figure that out somewhere. I'm sure it is a function, maybe under device tools. Oh, I got to save this. So under device tools somewhere, but I will research that and then update you guys on another later show. So thank you so much for coming along, man. I have had a lot of fun doing this. I love these sorts of things, and it's been a big success for the most part. I mean, we fumbled through it until we figured it out. I will put a link to all of the things that I have used to build this in a link in the description below. And so if you're interested in knowing what those products are, you can certainly check them out yourself and see if you want to do it yourself. All the products will be there. So. But thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for hanging along. If you have lasted here until the end, there's not many of us here, so always appreciate you. But we will definitely be doing something in the future. Now, next week, I'm going to share a story about my trip to Toronto, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks, and then that will be the last show for a week. So look for me next week. We're going to do next will be story time with John, and then we'll get ready to do our kind of excursion out of the States. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting away and having a little bit of a holiday. So can't wait for that. We will, of course, leave a comment in the description. If you're watching this after the fact, comment in the description. Let me know if you have any questions. Keep your criticisms to something friendly if you have one. Otherwise, join me live on Tuesdays right here at 10 a.m. Central, 9 or 11 a.m. Eastern, and be happy to have you come along. Be sure to follow and subscribe. Always appreciate that. Take care of yourselves, everybody, and we will see you all in the next one. Thanks a lot.